Good morning. My name is Dr. Samuel Adu-Gyamfi. I'm happy to come your way this morning. We want to look at trial 1.11, which is the blade of a fan. The blade of a fan. We want to use CAD to be able to draw this thing. Now, let's analyze the drawing before we move on to the AutoCAD software. If you look at the drawing, this is the central part of the circle, and the first circle has a diameter of 6. The second diameter, which has the same center of the first circle, meaning it's concentric, has a diameter of 24, and then afterwards you draw a horizontal line here. The horizontal line is offset to a distance of 54. And then you also draw your vertical line here, and then those two lines are serving as your center line. So your horizontal line here and then your vertical line here is serving as your center line. So when you offset the horizontal line here at 54 to a distance of 54, we are going to stand there and then draw a circle of radius 42. This is shown over here. And then afterwards, we offset the same line to 24 here, where it meets the center line. We also stand there and then draw a circle of radius 18. Afterwards, we're going to stand at the center and then draw a line which is a tangent to the circle of radius 18. And then after that is done, we can trim and then do other things. And from there, we can also offset 9 mm of the center line here, and then on the line 54 line, which was offset, we can offset 8 mm. When you offset 8, where it intersects with the line which was offsetted at 9, you stand there and then draw a circle of 30. You draw a line which is tangent to the circle of radius 30, and then afterwards you trim. When that is done, we just use the array command to get these things. So it's a simple drawing that we are going to look at. So it's a simple command, it's a simple drawing, like I said earlier, that we are going to look at. But before that, let us try as much as possible and look at the dimension of the drawing so that we can create our boundary within which we are going to do our drawing. Now, if you look at the center point here, the distance from here to here is 54, and then 54 we can add 24 to 8, making it 78. 78 plus 18 making around 96. So from this point to this point is 96, and then from this point to this point will be 96, almost getting to 200. So if you add up, you are getting 192. So 192, it means that to be able to draw your work within the confined area, let's choose an area of maybe 300 against 300. So I'll go to AutoCAD. So this is the interface, the graphic interface of the AutoCAD. I'll pick rectangle. So when you pick rectangle, it says specify first corner point, or chamfer, elevation, fillet, thickness, or width. So we're going to pick the first option, which says specify first corner point. So we're going to choose our corner point to be 0, 0 as the coordinate. So you enter. You see that I started drawing. It's asking you specify other corner point or area, dimension, rotation. So we're going to pick the first option, which is the other corner point. So we're going to choose 300, 300 as the coordinate. So it is drawn. For you to be able to see, you zoom. So Z, enter. It didn't come. So zoom, enter, good. And then we choose all to bring our confined area. So this is our confined area where we are going to do our drawing. This is our confined area. So quickly, we want to draw our circle of diameter 6. Now, it is very important to make sure that your object snap tracking is on. So as a result of that, so that we can do our work within the central part of the confined area. So if you look at it, my object snap tracking is on. So when I pick circle, I'll come and track the center. So I've tracked the midpoint of the boundary area. So this is the very midpoint. It is showing perpendicular 0 degrees, and then the midpoint 270 degrees. So all that I'm going to do is to click here. So it's saying that I should specify, if you look at the command area, it says specify radius of circle or diameter. Since I was given diameter, I'll press on D, enter. So it's now saying that I should specify the diameter of the circle. The diameter of the circle is 6. So I enter. Now I can zoom out by using my mouse scroll button to scroll to see the circle. Now I can click on circle again, or you can hit on enter, because when you hit on enter, the last command was circle. So we want to draw another circle, so it will come again. So let me hit on enter on the keyboard. It says circle, specify center point for circle, or 3p 2p tr, which TTR, which is tan radius. So I can hit the center here, and then he's also asking me to specify the radius of the circle, but I was given diameter, which is 24, so I press D, and the diameter was 24, so I type 24. So these are my two circles that has been drawn at the center of my boundary area. Now I have to draw my center lines. So I can draw, and you see that I can, as I'm drawing the line, I can move at any angle. But if I want to move at 0 degrees, 180 degrees, or 90 degrees, or 270 degrees, then it means that I have to press on F8. So I've pressed on F8, or you can click here, which is the auto. So when you click on it, it shows that your auto is on. So I can draw a line here, and then I can mirror this line. My distance is a bit slow. I can mirror the line here so that they will be equal. When I finish, I can join these two lines for it to be the same. Let me change the color to green. So I'm changing my center line to be green. And then also I can also draw one here, and then also mirror. I mean, when they are equal, it helps you so that when you are tracking a point, it becomes easier. So I can join these two lines, click on join, it is joined. Let me format the color to this very line too. So I click on this, the color has changed. So these are my two circles. One, the diameter is 6, and then one, the diameter is 24. So we look at it. What's the next step? I can offset this very line, which is 54, and where it meets the center line, the vertical center line here, that is where I'm going to stand to draw a circle of radius 42. So I go there, I click on my offset. This is offset. I click on it, and then it asks me to specify the offset distance. The offset distance is 54. I type 54, and I click on this. I go here. So that is it. So I stand here, this very point. You see that it's showing the midpoint of those two lines. I stand there and draw a circle of radius 42. So I type 42, enter. So that circle is drawn. Now, so far as that circle is drawn, I can go on to offset this very line from here to here is 24, and when I offset that, where it meets this, I have to stand there and then draw a circle of radius 18. So in the same way, I click on offset, and the distance is 24, enter. Then I stand there where it intersects, draw a circle of radius 18. So these are the two circles that have been drawn. But don't forget that there is a line from here which is tangent to this. So I have to do that one. So I draw a line. I'm zooming. And then it's a tangent to this. So you see that to be able to get it correctly, you have to press on your shift key, right click, and then choose what? Tangent. So you see that as I bring the tangent has shown, I click on any part of the circle and then to be a tangent to it. So you see that a tangent has been hot. A tangent has been drawn to it. Now the next thing that we can do is that we have to trim for us to get a very clear view of what we've started. A very clear view. So you could see that this line is a tangent to this circle. So we are going to trim the unwanted part. So I click on trim, enter, I click here, I don't need this. So see, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. So you see that we are getting the shape of the fan. Now let us continue. For us to be able to appreciate this, let me try and then change the color. So this is the radius 18. Let me change the color to maybe cyan. And then this is the 42 radius. This is the 42 radius. Let me change the color to magenta. Are you getting it? So that things will be clear. So now the next thing is that if you look at the drawing, we have to offset this very line, this center line here, 9 millimeter. Are you getting it? So I will offset this, offset, and it's 9. Enter. I click this, I go here. And then in the same way, I also have to offset this very line to a height of what? 8 millimeter, where it intersects with the center line, which was offsetted 9 millimeter. So where it meets, that's where I'm going to stand to draw a circle of radius of 30. So I also click on offset, and the distance is 8. I go there. So this is where it is intersecting. So where it is intersecting, I go there, the intersection. Click there, and the radius of the circle is what? The radius of the circle is 30. So I do that. And you could see that this very circle, the radius 30 is blending with this. So I have to work on it. Now before that, note that there is a line which is also a tangent to the radius 30. So I have to draw that line. So I click on line, I hit my center point here, then I hold on my shift key, right click, choose tangent, and then click any part of this circle, and I press escape. So from here, this will aid me. I've clicked on trim, enter, or I right click and then trim the unwanted part. So I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this very line, I don't need this, I don't need this very line. You can zoom to aid you. I don't also need here. So we are getting it. Now we have to also and then also this. So you see that we are, I don't also need here, I don't also need here, I don't need here, I don't need here, I don't need here, I don't need here. I getting it. So enter, I can remove this. So you could see that we are getting the shape of the fan. Let me try. Yeah, from here I can now use my array command. I can use my array command to do for the remaining 3. So I come here, this is a rectangular array. I click on the small arrow here and then choose the polar array. So I select the object. So I select this, I select that, I select that, I select this, and then this. Enter. Then he asks me to specify the center. So in specifying this, the center, I click here, and the number of items is what? The number of items is 4. So I enter 4, and the angle to fill is 360. So I already have 360. Let me enter. Then you see that I should press enter to accept. So before that, I want to check on the association. I want to check on the association. Enter. Do you or say create associative array? No, I don't want to create associative array. So I enter and enter. So I click on enter to accept. So you see now my fan is drawn. My fan is drawn. Let me try as much as possible and then use the same color. So I'll do this That's